What's up, guys? What is happening?
Hello. What's up, Mark?
Hello. It's so good to see you all. I'm really excited that we are going to be able to get back to what we love to do.
I realized when I was at the studio this week, like how much more I appreciate being at the studio now that we've been home and not able to go there. Like it's like I always loved going to the studio, but now it's so different because you missed it so much for 2 months. And especially yesterday that we started to have, these like smaller, like very small groups. And it was amazing to actually see people like students and their parents, and they were so happy to be there. The energy was amazing.
I got a message from one of the parents of the children that were in that particular grouping, and it was so great for all the kids to be together, even as limited as it was, and that the work that we were doing with instructing them through Zoom and being on calls with them and staying in communication with them and really being a light for them was exactly what they needed to get through this really difficult time. It really dances so much about who they are and how they express themselves, and they missed it so much, and us being there for them was just like a beacon of light. That just enough to get them through.
Yeah. So Lise, what was your part during this COVID?
We had some grants in the works that had just been submitted the beginning of March, and so it was kind of following up with the grantors and being able to say, what's going on with these grants? Are they still happening? And them contacting us and saying, some of them put freezes on the grants, some of them have continued on their grants. And it was just a matter of reaching out to all of them and finding out what our status was. So if it was postponed, then we had that information to work with. If it was something we could still apply for, we had that information. And there was about 3 weeks where it was just trying to figure out how to get that PPP funding. It was like pulling teeth, and it changed every day. And every day there was new information. I'm writing a final report for the Cultural Trust for the risers that we just put in. I can't tell you how many webinars I've been on. I'm like in webinar, like land. But just trying to take notes on marketing and building fundraising and building boards and, just trying to figure out how we can go in a different direction virtually.
Yeah, and two things that you talked about there, Lise, like the risers that were installed were he started working on those in January. I suppose the most important aspect of the whole project there, we went from having 4% of our seating being handicapped accessible, 3%.
Yeah.
To 98% of our seating capacity to be handicapped accessible. The other thing that talked a little bit about how we go virtual is that we intend on taking our space, our workspace, and converting them into soundstage where we can actually produce amazing shows that can be live streamed or brought to people that are shut in, sent to seniors, sent to places that we could never have done before without the technology that we've all invested in and learned about using.
And Christina, you've been contacting a lot of schools, right? Can you tell a little bit about that?
So right before all this started, I was going to a school in Sparta, New Jersey, and doing a 16-week creative movement residency there with their special education students. Last session with them was in March, and we still had about 6 more sessions to do before we finished up the residency. So I've been back and forth with their principal to see, what we could do, and we ended up agreeing that we are going to finish the residency this summer during their summer program, all virtually. So they'll be logging in on Zoom, and I'll be teaching the classes through Zoom. So it's great that we have this age of technology, that we are able to do these types of things. You know, the fact that we can't be in person isn't prohibiting us from doing the work. Like Mark says, we can create a whole virtual experience, and we can bring it right into their homes.
Yeah, and another thing that was like a good outcome of this COVID was that like I've had more time than usual now to provide more content, like in our social media, like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Like there's more content coming out now than I think ever before, and I think it's really good because people get to know us like in more like personal level and really have a deeper look into our company and the school and how's the life there and how is it to dance with us and not just see the performance but really like get to know us more.
You've done a great job on social, you know, with the social feeds and really keeping people engaged. And Christina, you know, and Melissa, who by the way is over here listening in on the conversation, but she's a little shy to get on the screen. She's right over here, but she's going to jump on. There she is, jumping on. She's been listening the whole time, everyone. Yeah, so anyway, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the school, a little bit about what you've been up to, you know, during COVID-19 or anything in between.
So the wonderful thing is, as dancers, we are very adaptable. So what we learn is that when we're faced with challenges, we just work through them. And thank goodness for technology that we were able to use that to still deliver dance instruction and then work with each student on a personal level on how they can maintain their dance training through a very unique time. I think this experience has just taken us to a whole nother level of being adaptable problem solvers and being able to keep moving forward no matter what life should throw us.